Hey everyone, I am so excited to introduce today's guest, and that's Bianca Neilsen. Now, Bianca is an incredibly passionate teacher. She's multi-talented, in fact, multi-talented woman. She's a teacher, she's an amazing, gifted artist, and a powerful coach in her own right. I've had the pleasure of working with Bianca through my coaching breakthrough program, and I've watched her truly transform and step into her own brilliance. So today we're going to take a deep dive into her journey and see what she's been up to, how she's embracing her creativity and combining that with her coaching and her inspiring vision for the future. Bianca's story is one of resilience, growth, and passion, and I can't wait to share it all with you. And one last ad is her tag on her Facebook is triumph over adversity. Keep moving forward. I love that. So I'd love to hear more about that. So let's welcome Bianca.
Thank you, Anita. I'm very grateful to be here. And I've thoroughly have enjoyed working with you. And what I really admire about you is how you're able to really uplift and inspire people. And I tell you, you inspire me all the time. So just really wanted to let you know that it's a testament that you can be out there living the life that you really want to.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you, Bianca. That really means a lot. I appreciate you. So, first question, looking at where you are now, what are some of the biggest successes that you've achieved since completing the coaching breakthrough program?
Yeah, so I feel a lot more grounded and have an authentic version of myself. Like I really know who I am since doing the breakthrough program. And what I found in that time was that I have a lot more stability and resilience in the way that when we were working together, it was a case of I needed to step into a new identity, and I had no idea where to start with any of that. And my biggest block was fear. And in the time that I went through the breakthrough program, and you were helping me with my mindset, I was just able to really get in tune with what needed to take place. And there were things that came up when we were working together that just some of the questions that you asked me and the way that the alignment consciously I knew that I wanted to go and do something different with my life, but at that time I didn't know how to support that journey because what I wanted and what was going on were two different things. But the breakthrough program really brought me into alignment with that. And I at the time I was feeling I had a lot of guilt and shame from being I got really sick when I was teaching and I was burned out, but it just really allowed me to remove all of that and give me myself the permission to do exactly what I want to do out there. So I found it really helpful to shift some of those old negative thought patterns that I had and step into my own. So
I love that, stepping into your own. That is so fantastic. And you've shared such wonderful gems there. I'm so proud and excited for you that you've been able to step into the alignment that you spoke about and after going through that burnout to come out the other side and really be grounded in your authentic self. It's very powerful. So, Bianca, what exciting projects or creative endeavors are you currently working on, and how do they align with your personal and professional goals?
yeah, so believe it or not, I've actually got this real excitement for challenges. So I'm learning that challenges, they bring gifts. And back then I was sort of stuck in those patterns, but moving through that and going through the alignment and becoming more of that authentic version of myself, I now see challenges as exciting. So that's where I'm at currently, that I'm just really exploring them within my own coaching programs. And when you're leveling up, you sort of that those are when the challenges happen, and then you get to this platform and then you stay there. But then when you're going up to that next level, it does bring new levels of things that need to be done. So like learning an instrument, I learned clarinet for 15 years, and in
Wow.
that time there was no end to the skill acquisition. It just keeps going, and that's life. It's every area of skill acquisition. So it's about really identifying when you want to go to that next level, seeing those challenges as growth opportunities and how you can really grow from not just surviving but thriving in those
Mm.
areas because you're able to see challenges in a new light. And that's my new project that I've been working on is how do you navigate challenges and I've got a 4-step process, which is a rain model that I'm developing, and it's about being able to navigate the rain no matter what happens. And the challenges is what excites me now. And that's a really new development since you and I have been working together.
Well, that's fantastic. I love that, the RAIN model. So is that an acronym for something?
Yeah, so it's about recognizing the challenge,
Yes.
aligning yourself with it. So a lot of the work where I've needed to align myself with that identity, the intention behind it, so the outcome. So you're not just practicing for the sake of practicing. What's the intended outcome? Because
Mm,
when you're developing new skills, like I
yes.
said, it could go on for forever. So what is it actually, that bite size that you're trying to achieve, and the whole
Mm.
of it, that you can come back round and identify it again. So how do you keep yourself in that forward momentum?
I love that, the forward momentum coming around and doing it again and again. And as you said as well, like really getting excited about those challenges for your leveling up. It's just sounds absolutely awesome what you're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how has your approach evolved in your coaching, and what new directions are you exploring? So you've mentioned this, the RAIN method. So what other things are going on?
Oh, I just really, there's a lots of learning coming around about how life is a mirror. And that's so true, that once something is revealed to you, that then you go and heal that. So personal development has really been, it is an ongoing process, and that skill acquisition, it's got no end like any other area. But I'm now really looking at the emotions and how I can help my clients navigate through them with an awareness for them and how to release them, because it's
Mm,
the emotions that when we're in the presence of others that can unravel us, because they, thoughts you're aware of, they talk to you, but emotions, they're like waves, they come and go. So
mm.
what comes with working with a coach is that you have this deep awareness and this love of self that you might not necessarily know or feel unless you've invested in coaching. And that's about identifying the healing, the parts of you that need healing, and you could do that with the support of a coach.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. And I love the analogy that you use, the emotions, they come like waves through our system, and we know about the thoughts, but really tapping into that emotional side and developing the skills alongside that, like you said, with the support of an awesome coach like yourself. So what is your vision for the future, both in your coaching practice and your personal journey? I'd love to know.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So, when my vision out there is to really help people access the tools and the mindset shifts that are you're capable of doing with the program, and being able to have your own blueprint for life and not following necessarily society's one, or the one that comes through that from families and things like that, but knowing who you are and what you really want to achieve. But the one thing that I want to mention is that I find it difficult to have a future vision, and it's only something I'm starting to develop by working with coaching, because when you have depression, you're really only facing it in the moment. It's moment after moment. It's making it through the day. And that's what I found when I got really sick and burned out. So it's been a challenge to know what it's like to have a future vision. So if anyone's listening and thinking, well, I find it difficult to have that future vision, it's about one, letting moment after moment unfold. And then the next step is to really get in alignment with the present moment. So how can the present moment, you can find joy in it, and making sure that you're making the most of the meaningful connections around you. And then with the support of the coach, the alignment of where it is that you want to head to, or that's what I found, that I needed that support to be able to actually know where to pinpoint on where I was headed, because I wasn't sure who I was at that time. So a future vision now is very much about self-care and developing the skills that I'm developing, but it did take some time to get to that position.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, you are so articulate. I love you sharing your story, and thank you so much for speaking so openly and vulnerably about what you've navigated through yourself and going through that burnout, going through depression, and really it is difficult to see the future vision. And I'm sure there are many people that would also have that challenge. So being able to take the step by step and being in the present moment, and like you said previously, like these little bite-sized pieces, like just little by little moving in that direction. So not like they said in The Secret, I guess, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just have to see the next step. So that's what you're doing so beautifully.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it, Anita. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Bianca, how do you balance being you're a teacher, you're an artist, you're a wife, you're a dog mama, you're a coach while continuing to grow and push yourself to new heights? And as you said before, like really leveling up.
Yeah, yeah. So we all wear different hats, don't we? So it's really about the slow and the steady does win the race. And that's the overcoming adversity that when I burned out terribly, it was a challenge to find that balance because I'd lost it completely. So this is a really good question to answer because I had to start from ground zero. So it's really about energy management and where you're spending your time and being aware that your time is your most important asset. So being
Yep.
conscious of where you're spending that energy. And so when you are a particular identity, being a doggy mom or being a wife, it's about really comes back to being present in those moments. And I like to, when I am in that moment, in that time, really at the back of my mind is making memories. How can I make this a stamp in time? So it
Mm,
might be whether setting up music in the background or how can I curate the experience so that it is meaningful and I can connect with the person in front of me. Even my doggies, like I'll look in their eyes and it's about the magic of fully being present and
mm,
like being a kid when you're fully present like that because that's all your focus is with social media and the distractions that we have now. It's so easy to sort of be in multiple places at once, but I find the way that I balance is to really narrow focus. And I also I time block and have organized strategies, of course, but I to push myself forward, it's really about looking after myself and hearing my body and where I'm up to in those times and doing the best that I can and that is good enough. And that's what I've found in this journey, that I would go over and above and I would spend too much and exhaust all my resources and it wasn't serving anyone. So balance is really about showing up as best you can and being present in the moment.
Oh gosh, I love that. There's so many golden nuggets in what you've just shared now, and it's true, right? Like we all wear multiple hats, but it's about, who are you in this moment? What is your identity in this moment? Are you the wife in this moment? Are you the doggy mama? Are you the marketing extraordinaire? Are you the coach? Are you being really present with your client and what they need? And I really loved how you shared about curating. It's just magical, curating those moments and what that might look like if that's music playing in the background and creating that really nice space, which also supports your self-care at the same time. Just beautiful. I love the magic.
There is a magic to it. There really is.
Nice. So, Bianca, what inequalities or strengths have you discovered about yourself that are driving your current work and your future goals?
Yeah, so it's the awareness that there's this inner strength in all of us. And there was a stark moment in time way back before all of this that really made that concrete for me. I heard someone say that, lucky I'm strong. It was a passing comment. I just stopped and I thought, I haven't said any kind words to myself in such a long time. So that was when the beginning of this journey all happened. So what I find is as a result of all the training and the things that I've gone through in the journey up until this point is that the shifted perspectives are everything.
Mm,
So there's so many ways to view a situation from. And when I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed out, what I do now, and part of the work that we've done together, is that you've taught me how to shift that perspective. So I put a time reference in now. So I'm feeling overwhelmed today. I'm feeling overwhelmed this week. And it's so freeing to be able to shift things that way. It really, it makes things that I feel heavy so much lighter. But I really love doing the same in the transformations that I hear from my clients. When you ask the right question at the right time, that's able to shift that perspective. And it's also about, on this journey, going back and healing earlier versions of ourselves. So going back, and the emotions that come up that I was talking about earlier, they might come from a time where I first developed embarrassment or shame or whatever might it have been, but it was at a younger version of myself. So when you actually go back and you heal those versions of yourself, but it's also about, what I've discovered is that setting up the environment and the thought patterns to support my future version. So getting
Mm.
that in alignment as well. So they're some really interesting discoveries that I've learned along the way.
Yeah, fantastic. And it is all about shifting perspective, as you said. I love that, and how you said it's about that time. Like, I feel this today, this overwhelming feeling today. It's not going to be the rest of my life. It's just this current experience that I'm having. And it all comes with, doing that inner work, and being able to navigate through those times. And you're right, like, we've all had experiences throughout our lives, and anything that we've been through, the trauma, the sadness, challenges, it gets trapped in our body, in our cells. And until we go back and release it, it will always impact our lives. And you and I know that with the coaching processes and techniques that we do, they're very, very powerful, and they can eliminate and remove those things once and for all. So they're no longer getting your way. So you can absolutely keep moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was when I was working through those big blocks that I had with you, the fears, that was what was identified, that they were way back when. And it's not a conscious awareness, it's that subconscious coming through, that I want this particular thing and I'm moving this way. But it was that support of going back and healing those things with the techniques to
Yeah,
put myself on that path forward. Absolutely.
very powerful stuff.
Mhm.
So, in what ways are you integrating what you've learned from coaching into your current and professional projects?
Yeah, so in the time that I've been doing coaching, I just realized that it affects everything. It affects, so that positively, that with the inner work that's been done, I find I'm a lot calmer. I'm finding that my relationships are improving. I'm more present. I'm creating those meaningful, magical times with people because I'm really I've changed. I've changed in such a way that I'm a lot more confident now in who I am. And to get there, it was a journey. So how can I subtly support people around me who I love dearly, and in the school as well, when I'm having those interactions, I have questions now, or ways of looking at things that really have shifted the way that I operate, where before I would have complained or I would have had this icky energy. Now it just washes off of me, and I think about what that person might be going through that day, or what's something that I can leave them with that might change that for them. But it also is about learning the value of time and respecting that. So during the coaching, I learned that my highest value is time. And now I make those commitments that align with how I want to spend my time. Whereas before I was quite spread thin. But
Mm.
coaching has taught me that I am in control. So I am allowed to use my time how I want to. And that has really changed so much.
I love that. You're allowed to use your time as you choose. It's such an important topic, and something that I do a lot of work in as well, because time is finite, as you've mentioned. It's our most valuable resource, and we can't buy more time. We can't gain more time. Like, this is it. And I imagine, like, time like sand slipping through an hourglass. We got to get on with living. And if there's things in our life that aren't serving us right now and are draining us, or not taking us towards that future vision, we got to get rid of them. So really
Mm.
eliminate and be very selective with how we're using our time. And I really love how you're doing that full circle. Like, you've been in the depths, you've been through the burnout and the struggle, and now you'll come to the other side with the skills, and you're able to help others. You're able to help other teachers. You're able to be really present with them and listen, and maybe ask that thoughtful question. that can have them think differently and find the solution for themselves. So you're such an amazing teacher, and what an inspiration. How lucky those other teachers are to have you there to guide them. It's really fantastic.
Thank you. I mean, it sounds so simple, respecting your time and knowing your time, but it was something different when I discovered coaching and how energy ties into it.
Yes, yes. And I love how you referred to energy before, that energy management. And it really is about that. And we know that we're doing something where we love when we get in a state of flow and time just disappears, or we're energized. However, the other side is when we're drained and time is just dragging. Well, maybe we need to pay attention to those cues. Maybe we're not in alignment as you speak to, and we need to change something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That I found that your body is always communicating with you, and
100%.
you're conscious of all the elements and bringing them into alignment.
Yes.
It's forever communicating. It's just about listening.
Yeah, I love that. It is about listening and tuning in. Fantastic. So, what new skills or areas of growth are you focusing on now to keep elevating your career and your personal journey?
Yeah, so I just find it's back to the challenges again that I face challenges with action now. So
Mm,
rather than before I would hide, avoid, and I really that was part of the darker times that was my coping mechanism, and I didn't know any better. But now it's a case of well, these challenges exist. It's an opportunity for learning and growth. So the challenges back to learning the instrument, developing any skill acquisition. What's the first baby step that needs to be taken to move towards where advancing your journey or where it is that you're trying to get to. So that shift has really helped me in both my personal and professional life because it is really about how do you move forward in situations where you're moving from fear to comfort. And that for me it's the growth pains of that fear that is now exciting. I hid away from it because of all the ghosts of the past per se of the thoughts that came up that were developed at a young age, but just now getting curious on what comes up and exploring it and listening, like we said before, that listening to the body and
yes.
focusing on what is actually coming up and why is my energy going here and what can I do about this situation. So it's more of a proactive approach than I've ever had before.
I love that. So really tuning in, listening, and then being proactive about how you move forward. And like you said, from moving from fear to comfort. And there's a saying that everything that we want is on the other side of fear. So we've just got to get over that hump and banish it. But it's something that we all experience. And but having those tools and strategies, and like you said, the baby steps is what gets you there. The step by step will compound, and before you know it, you're the new identity. You're this new person. You're at the destination that you dreamed of.
Yeah, and it's sparkly to be that version of
I
yourself.
love that, sparkly. I love how you speak with such magic and, yeah, beauty.
Thank you.
You are truly an artist, Bianca, on all levels. Your communication, the beautiful graphical designs that you produce, the environment you create, that you curate so for the experience of others. Like it just is such a gift.
Oh, there's just so much within I want,
Ah!
and that's what it's about. It's the coaching coming through and that you can create your own existence and you I was asleep and now I'm not anymore. And I want to
Mm.
scream it from the rooftops because
Yes,
yeah,
I
it's
love that.
life changing.
I love that. Scream it from the rooftops. Absolutely. Amen to that. So, how does your vision of success look now compared to before we started working together? And what milestones are you aiming for next?
Yeah, so it just when before you and I were working together, I was struggling to break free of this identity that I didn't want to be anymore. And so since then, it's just been a case of aligning myself with where it was that I want to head to. And my body was telling me that I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And like I said earlier, I had this conscious awareness of this is my path I want to go on, but it
Mm,
was all baggage behind me that was sort of making the journey a little bit slower on the way. So just since then, I've really connected in with intuition and knowing that I make my decisions. That was a big learning one there, that even not making a decision is still making a decision. So when I would pass decisions off to my husband, for example, that was still me making a decision. We are always in control. So that really understanding that was, it comes back to those waves of emotion, and just I'm able to understand that my past lack of decision making was for the fact that I just wasn't connected in with understanding where I wanted to head to. So by aligning myself with the journey of where I want to head to and listening to the universe and connecting in with that, I've just really taken off with a lot more mindset development since the program. And it's changed a lot of things for me, where now it's the curiosity of emotions and intuition, but my mindset has been set since the breakthrough program. It's really helped me to get curious of what's popping up, and I've I've moved in a lot more further direction since the work that's been done.
Fantastic. And I love that. Just makes me so excited to hear that through the breakthrough program, your mindset has shifted, you've leveled up, and now that you're really tuning into that emotional part of you and making the decisions, listening to that inner knowing. And you're so right about the decisions, like even not making a decision is a decision. So we hand it over to someone else, you're still making a decision, but really taking back control, because we are in the driver's seat of our life. We can't control things that happen outside of ourselves, but we certainly can control our decisions and what we do moving forward. So that was so beautifully said. And I love watching you on your journey and spreading your wings and flying.
Thank you, Anita. Yeah, absolutely. I think it really is about making decisions and the intuition and backing yourself that you can make those decisions, which can be challenging at first. And I did struggle with, but now it's like this newfound power that, yeah, I make my decisions. And to come from that is a huge testament to where I once was.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I make my decisions. I love that so much. Like I could hear it, I could feel into your power, and yeah, that transformation that you've been able to make through going through the program, and now of everything that you've done since then, and you continue to do, continue to thrive, continue to level up. It's just awesome. So, Bianca, last question. If you could give yourself one piece of advice, your future self, one piece of advice based on everything that you've accomplished and where you're heading, what would that be?
Hmm. To stay true to the path, even in uncertain times, really, that to
Mm.
trust the process. And my sister gave me a journal about 2 days ago, and it had Billy Joel on there, and it was the song, the one, slow down, you're doing fine, you can't be everything you want to be before your time. And it was just so
Oh,
perfectly timed, because how true is that, that
love those
growth
words.
does take the patience, and it deserves it as you're moving forward, and just keep the motivation alive and stay grounded in your perspectives.
Yes, yes, I love that. And yeah, staying grounded is really the key. And no matter what happens, we can, because everything is energy. If when life happens as it inevitably does, and there's going to be times when we're knocked off our path and there is a struggle, there is a pain, but we can just ground into our energy and trust the process and just keep moving that step forward each time, trusting that the way will appear, trusting that you have the strength, the resilience, you know the way. And I love that Billy Joel quote as well. Like that was incredible. Would you mind saying that again? Like I couldn't capture it fast enough, but it was so powerful. And I want everyone to write this down.
Slow down, you're doing fine, you can't be everything before your time.
Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything before your time. Wow. Wow, that's magic. And what a fantastic way to wrap up this incredible session today. So, Bianca, this is such an awesome conversation, and I really appreciate you being here today. And so, people watching along, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, so they can find me on YouTube under Zazen Flow or
Fantastic.
on Facebook under Bianca Neilsen.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, it's been an absolute treat, an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, Bianca, and I wish you every success. And I can't wait to see what's coming up next and watching you continue to blossom and fly and thrive in your life and really living into that magic. And that's what I'm about as well. And my tag is all about igniting your magic. Be the magic igniter. And I see that you absolutely are.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's a shared vision of making the world a brighter and more
Mm,
compassionate. And yeah, I think the magic is the way, and it's that
yes.
sparkliness to life that you can have when you are alive and awoken to what it is that you truly want out there.
Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if this will show up, but I'm doing some applause. So everyone's applauding you and celebrating you and wishing you every success moving forward. So thank you again. Thank you so much for today. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Anita.
Take care.